All right, if you're watching this on YouTube, this is going to be a live reaction from my stream reviewing the Snap Packs Q&A, which is the economy overhaul coming to Marvel Snap. And this video title confirms that it's coming on April 29th. So let's go ahead and dive on into it. The early details we found out about this were all very positive, and if Second Dinner is smart, and they're frequently smart, I wouldn't be surprised if they run some returning player promotions alongside this. So hopefully there's going to be lots of goodies for everyone, including people that are still in and those that might want to be coming back. Grolden, thanks for the 42 months.
Everyone, Snap Packs are officially here, and we have an exclusive interview to talk about what Snap Packs are going to be bringing to Marvel Snap and how the next era of Second Dinner's Marvel Snap is going to be transformed with this new system. Now, when I say we, I mean we. We have a panel here today to interview Matt directly, who we'll talk a little bit more about later on. So let's bring on in the panel and introduce them to go through Snap Packs. All right, welcome in everyone. As you see, the four of us are here ready to ask some questions to Matt in regards to Snap Packs. So let's introduce everybody and start over on this side here with Lauren.
I'm Lauren Whatevs. I write intermittent Marvel Snap content and also host a weekly podcast.
Hey, my name is Binks. You can find me everywhere at Binks_plays, where I stream Marvel Snap gameplay and make highlight videos.
Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm Nina. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch and everywhere else under Nina is Noob.
And for those who do not know, my name is Guest, also known as It's Guest Gaming, where you can find me all over using that handle, Twitch, YouTube, etc.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt. I'm Senior Director of Product here at Snap, and I'm here to tell you everything I can about Snap Packs.
And there's a lot to know, to say the least. I know the community's been asking a lot of questions over the last couple of days since we heard about it from the season announcement. So before we dive into that a little bit more, so I think this might be one of your first appearances. So why don't you let us know a little bit more about who you are with Marvel Snap and what brought you here now to, well, this project?
Yeah, I've been on the project for about a year.
Before working for Second Dinner, did Matt work at the casting couch? And if you don't get that joke, it's okay. We'll tell you when you're older.
Year now, I lead the product team. We have a product team and a design team, and the two of us work together, designing most of the features and thinking about them. Of course, the engineering and QA and art teams do a lot of the actual building. But we're thinking about the future of the game. What are the right kind of features to add to the game? How do those things impact both the players and the business of Snap? In terms of me, I've been around the gaming industry for about 20 years now, mostly all in mobile and mostly free-to-play games. So it makes me feel a little bit old, but I kind of got my start in the if people remember, pre-mobile, pre-Facebook, a lot of kind of early games as service in the West were like on the web. But that's where I fell in love with, when you're working on a game as a service, adding new things all the time, you're talking directly to the players like we are now. There's all kinds of data to look at about how the game is performing. I just kind of love that immediacy and that connection with the game and the players. So I've kind of stayed in the game service space ever since.
With that said, also, why Second Dinner? What brought you from, your past experiences into this now exploding market of Marvel Snap specifically?
Yeah, I mean, a couple things, and I guess they're fairly obvious. Snap's an incredible game. So anytime you get a chance to work on a great game, it's a hard thing to pass up. I grew up playing lots of board games, so I have some experience in card games and playing things like Magic and Hearthstone, but this is my first CCG I've worked on, so it's also fun to explore and learn a whole new genre. And the last thing I say is there's so many talented people at Second Dinner, and the culture is really great. So no matter whether you're working in gaming or any other industry, like, a lot of your experience is defined day to day by the people you work with. So it's always nice to be around good people.
Just to spin a small, little curiosity question, because obviously working on the game is one thing. When you do play the game, not build the game, but when you actually are playing the game, do you have a comfort deck or a specific card that you target all the time? Like, I need to have this, or this is where my brain goes first when building?
Yeah, for a long time, actually was the Wong, Sarah, Magic, Silver Surfer, Ironheart deck. And there was a good few months where that deck was like how I first got to
Matt's good people, chap. Asked what cards he plays. Plays the sweet cards that builds the sandcastle. That sounds lovely. Thanks, Matt. We appreciate you. He said something fun.
Infinite, but more recently, I really enjoyed the Scream move deck. I love having Scream out early and just stealing power from people.
I shouldn't praise people before they finish speaking. I shouldn't praise people before they finish speaking. Oh man.
I'm not necessarily someone who just wants to like screw with everybody else on the board, but that deck in particular is really satisfying.
So let's dive into snap packs then. And to do that, to kind of go over snap pack 101, I'm going to let Nina is noob now take over.
How do the snap packs actually benefit players of all experiences?
That's a good question. I think the main way to think about this is, one, we're keeping everything from the current game in terms of how you get cards. Most of that is the current token shop. And the only thing we're really doing with this new Snap Packs feature is adding the ability to acquire packs. And the way we're changing how you acquire tokens in the game is swapping keys out for tokens. So instead of just having this kind of blunt instrument in terms of a key in the Spotlight cache and kind of rolling the dice on what you get with the Spotlight cache, you now can take your tokens and spend them how you want. And I think that's where different players who are at different points in the game, who have different needs, will use those tokens in different ways. So if you're a new player, you might decide, I could save 2 keys worth of tokens, 6,000 tokens, and get 1 Spotlight card if I really want it. Like maybe a card that's really powerful or exciting comes up. But you can also take those tokens and get a lot more Series 3 cards. If you're learning the game and you're trying to get deeper into the meta, you can just acquire cards much more quickly. And that's something we definitely want. We want it to be easier for players to catch up. We're pricing cards in 3 different tiers. There's the highest prices for single cards, the next level down for newer cards from the last couple of seasons, and then older cards. So if you're lapsed and you're missing out on older cards, you can get a higher volume of older cards. Or let's say you miss a season or two. Right now, that's pretty painful because it's really hard to get the Spotlight cards that you just missed. And now those will be in a pack, and that pack won't have a whole lot of cards in it. So you have some targeting there to kind of catch up. And then if you're an elder player, you probably care most about those newer packs, right? And that's where you can kind of stay up to date and get the cards you want.
What about the weekly Spotlight variants? What's going to happen to those?
That's a good question. We really want to get those back in the game. We basically split the shop up into 2 sections. One is cards and the other one will be called offers. Most of offers is all of our cosmetics. So we're trying to keep the focus of those different sections and move the Spotlight cards back over into the offer section. So I'm sure that's where they'll show up. But we know people love Spotlight variants. I love Spotlight variants. We're working on something to get them back in there soon.
How does the new system affect the series drops we've all become accustomed to?
That's also a good question. Nina, you're asking me all the tough questions here.
I'm here to grill you.
Yeah, I think with series drops, we want to see where the dust settles with snap packs, because series drops, I think, are designed to help people get more cards, and also more cheaply because you're moving them down in series and our cards are priced by series effectively. So snap packs is going to be doing a lot of the same work. We may need to use series drops as a complementary system to further accelerate card acquisition, especially for players who, again, are lapsed or further behind on the curve of getting to the meta. We want everybody to get to the meta. I think it's good for everyone. It's good for players. It's good for Snap as a long-term service, right? We want as many people who are playing with the newest cards as possible. The matchmaking is better. Everybody's having more fun. We did recently make a change where we doubled the drop rate of Series 3 cards coming out of the collector's reserves. So it's important to kind of keep that in mind as a complement. That was something we could do quickly and early, but that's another part of the overall kind of changes we're making. This isn't the end of the Snap Packs release that we have here. This is the beginning of a new system that's very flexible and that we can build off of.
So we'll still be getting series drops, possibly.
Possibly,
depending how this new system goes.
Yeah, I think we want to make sure that we're accomplishing the same.
That was a perfect follow-up from Nina. Matt was he was very political with his answer, and she was just like, so just to clarify, series drops are happening, or... And it sounds like they're unsure, is what this back and forth through, because he didn't explicitly say they were off the table. But that was a possibly, and a good follow-up from Nita for sure. And I assume part of it is they're gonna want to see what do player card acquisition rates look like and stuff like that. Because I honestly wouldn't be surprised if they are trying to structure snap packs in a way where it doesn't feel necessary for series drops to happen as much as it feels necessary right now, right? Because, like, the big reason we want series drops to happen now is because cards dropping series is a catch-up mechanic for people who have been out of the game. And snap packs are supposed to function as a catch-up mechanic themselves. So if, and again, this is a huge if snap packs accomplish the goal of being a good catch-up mechanic, then series drops are suddenly less, we need these, why aren't they happening, why aren't they happening? But the devil is in that detail. I'm gonna be curious to see, do they give any actual numbers for us here that we can crunch and talk about? Got a lot of this left, so hopefully someone asks some actual questions about numbers. That would have been, they are gonna give some numbers. Good.
Main goal that series drops had, and we want to see if how much snap packs kind of gets us to that goal, and if there's still a gap there, we have series drops and potentially other things that we can do to close the gap.
The snap packs. We know that the snap packs, when you buy a snap pack, you get one card and some bonus goodies. Could one of those bonus goodies be actually be a card in itself?
Yep. And the way it works is there are 5 different packs, and they're of 2 different types. We have seasonal packs, which are the cards from the last couple seasons, and then the collector's packs, which are cards that are everything besides those. So the quote unquote older cards. So if you get goodies from a collector's pack, you can get bonus cards, and they would come from the collector's pool of cards that are in there. If you get a goodie that turns into a card in the new packs, in the seasonal packs, it would be from that pool.
Okay, that's interesting.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm guessing the drop rates for different things in the goodie, for the goodie bonuses, is different.
The goodies are basically meant to give.
Oh, did it show numbers in there? And just so we're clear, because they didn't say it in here, we know that there won't be duplicates in here, so you're not going to get you got a card you already got.
They're in there. If you get a goodie that turns into a card in the new packs, in the seasonal packs, it would be.
Oh, was it hidden behind it? It was hidden behind it. All right. Well, they said we're going to get to numbers in a minute. Let's see.
Okay, that's interesting.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think so. But I'm guessing the drop rates for different things in the goodie, for the goodie bonuses, is different.
The goodies are basically meant to give you a certain amount of value on top of the pack, and it kind of varies. It's like a 10% or so additional value on the pack. So
they're meant to give you additional value on the pack. They're dopamine generating gambling boxes. Just so we're clear. I'm sure it's giving you a little bit extra, but these are packs, and the bonuses on top of the card are there so people can have the highs of hitting a lottery system. Just loot boxes, yeah?
So if your pack is a more expensive pack, which the newer Series 5 cards are the most expensive, you're getting, that 10% adds up a little bit higher. So there's,
right,
the best drop rates there versus the Series 3 collector pack.
So what can those bonus goodies actually be besides a new card? Can it be like a border or a variant?
Yeah, we actually have...
These no titles?
No titles, no avatars. We just introduced in the 39 release, we have a new reward type called Premium Mystery Borders. That's very similar, if everybody knows mystery variants and premium mystery variants. So there's same thing with borders. And so either one of those can drop from the goodies. So can mystery variants and premium mystery variants, tokens, credits, and boosters, and then Series 3, 4, and 5 cards. They will be available in game on Snap Packs launch.
Why would they put those pieces of text up there so briefly. All right, hold on.
He knows mystery variants and premium mystery variants. So there's same thing with borders. And so either one of those can drop from the goodies. So can mystery variants and premium mystery variants, tokens, credits, and boosters, and then series 3, 4, and 5 cards. They will be
A collector's pack contains 1 unowned cards of a given series, 2 other bonus items. Series 4 and 5 packs contain all unowned cards that are not in seasonal packs. The unowned cards have an equal drop rate. Bonus items received can be credits, tokens, boosters, variants, borders, and even more cards. So boosters are the booby prize. I like how he laughed about, no, of course there's not titles in there, but there's boosters in here. LOL. At the end of the season, the oldest cards of the seasonal packs move to these packs. Okay.
available in game on.
New card Spotlight is a Series 5 card released every Tuesday. New card Spotlight. A Spotlight card is a Series 5 card released every Tuesday. Ooh, this is confirming that new releases are always Series 5 via this mechanism. Okay. 1 unowned card from the given series, 2 bonus items, same thing. Series 5 packs, Spotlight cards released in the last 2 seasons. So this is something the new system is going to do, is you're going to have the ability to buy new releases for the same amount of tokens you buy them for now, or there's going to be a Series 5 seasonal pack that's going to be cheaper, where you get newer cards on a discount but at random. So you'll basically have the same system we have now, where you can buy it pointedly while getting more tokens. You're going to get 3,000 tokens every time you would get a key. So you're going to get at least 12,000 tokens a month. That's probably more than that, but you're going to get at least 12,000 tokens a month that you can use to just buy specifically the cards you want directly. But also, if you're someone who's a completionist and spending money, and you're going to have to spend money to get every card, almost assuredly. That's how this always works. How much money? That's a good question. Hopefully we'll find that out in this video. Probably not. We'll find that out when it releases at a minimum, but if you are buying everything, you'll get a discount on the everything, is what the system is setting you up to do, to encourage more people to get everything.
Snap packs launch. You know, the more expensive the pack, the higher the chance of getting the big rewards, like the cards and the variants and the borders.
I'm gonna butt in here real quick, because I gotta ask the question that is clearly on everybody's mind. Matt, how much is a snap pack?
Good question. Let's go over that. Yeah. So the way that
We can let Matt justify or talk about these in a second. I'll move this up over here. So yeah, this is exactly what I just talked about. So the new card is 6K. A random Series 5 card is 5K. Random Series 4 is 25 or 5K, 2.5K. And then, oh wow, getting the older cards at random is much cheaper. It's 4,000. So these packs here will be a random Series 4 or 5 card you are guaranteed not to have that isn't from the last 2 seasons. So the difference from here versus here is these are the last 2 seasons, and these are everything else. And when they're no longer from the last 2 seasons, they go from here to here. So at the start of every season, this one grows and this one gets updated. And the random Series 3 card is down to 650. You probably still don't want to spend tokens on Series 3 cards. You probably want to be doing it through here. But like, even just assume for a second you're only getting 12,000 tokens per month on top of it. Assume you're getting 15,000 tokens per month. You're guaranteed to get 4 Series 5 cards loosely that you don't own per month, spending no money. Right? 15,000 tokens, a little bit less. I bet it's close to 16,000 with the other things they're going to be doing. But if we assume you're getting 16,000 tokens per month, you can get 4 guaranteed Series 5 cards spending nothing. Which is interesting. The one dynamic I'm going to be curious to see is something that this introduces that the old system did too, is it's now technically cheaper to wait to get cards 2 months later, right? Like, let's say you have every Series 4 and 5 card, and then you're only missing the new stuff. You could technically wait 2 months to get all of the Series 5 cards from that month at 4K a pop. Is what this means. They did say they're going to be releasing more cards. Let's see. I'm sure they're going to share some details on that in here, hopefully, too. So let's hear what Matt has to say about this.
I thought about pricing packs is starting with Series 5 packs, right? We have 3 different price points in this new system. We've got your classic or standard single cards that are 6,000 tokens. And then we have our seasonal packs, which contain Series 5 cards from the most recent 2 seasons. And then we have our collector's Series 5 pack that contains all of the other Series 5 cards that you don't own. Because remember, each pack is guaranteed to give you a card that you don't own. And that was where I kind of got to this, like 6,000 tokens for a single card, 5,000 for a seasonal pack, and 4,000 for a collector's pack. That felt like a good amount of separation of pricing, and you're dealing in increments of 1,000 tokens. So when you're thinking about getting 3,000 tokens every 120 collectors levels, so that set the general discount rate for the different tiers, right? So the seasonal packs, and now I just carried those discounts across the different things. So that sets the prices for the seasonal Series 4 pack at 2,500, and then the collector's Series 4 pack at 2,000, and then the last pack in the mix is the Series 3 collector's pack, which is 650.
All right, so getting all of the new cards or older cards, whether you're a new player or a returning player, it seems like there is a variety of different ways to be able to do so. And I know there are other mechanics coming to the game as well that will help enhance that. So kind of helping to break that down, I leaned very heavily towards Lauren Whatevs because she's insanely good with all of the math and looking into other ways to acquire these snap packs via tokens. So I'm going to let her take over this part of the conversation, and she can kind of get into the nitty-gritty detail with you.
Sounds good.
Okay. Let's start small. How many free tokens do we get to claim every day?
We get 50 free tokens every day from the token shop.
Okay, so that's just like...
Okay, 50 free tokens per day. As what? 50 times 30. That's an extra 1,500 tokens per month. You currently get... God, I'm so good at this. So you currently get about 4.5 keys worth of levels per month. And each key is turning into 3,000 tokens. So that means at about 4.5, that's about 1350. So this is the floor if you're completing all of your dailies and free rewards is going to be 15,000 collector's tokens per month. That being said, if you're remembering to do things, if they keep doing your claim a free gift on the web shop roulette, that actually gives you close to another key's worth of credits on average per month, if I recall correctly. So like, there's opportunities to get more than that. I would bet the yeah, you get random 100 tokens in reserves too. I would bet the free to play token count is somewhere in the 16,000 to 20,000 tokens per month range.
Like a once a day claim then?
Yeah, it's a once a day. Every 24 hours, there's 50 tokens available.
And then the blog mentioned token packs that we could buy for gold. What do those look like? Pricing, conversion rate?
Yeah, so we have a variety of different token packs available at different price points. The way to think about
All right, so these token rates. What are these? What are these token rates? How different are these from the current rates? What's the current good token Tuesdays is 1,500 gold for 1,200 tokens. Yeah, so this is even this rate is better than that, right? No, is it worse? If it's 1,500 gold for 22,000 tokens? No, yeah, this is better. So the best token Tuesday is currently 6,000 gold for 4,800 tokens. So this base rate here at 6,000 is better than that. I guess it's slightly worse down here, or this is about the same. 1,300 for 1,000 is slightly worse. This is almost identical, it would be 3,000 for 2,400, so 3,100 for 2,500 is pretty good. So you get like, yeah, that sounds right. And I think it's been a second since I've looked at these numbers, so maybe don't quote me. I'm like 95% sure the numbers were free-to-play players get about 1,900 gold per month, and then season pass players get an extra 1,000 on top of that. So a season pass player could expect to get a 2,500 pack per month thereabouts. I believe, if my memory serves correct.
Variety of different token packs available at different price points. The way to think about, or the way I thought about token packs at least, is, we already have a flow in our token shop where if you don't have enough tokens to buy something, it'll ask you if you want to use gold, and then you can just supplement with gold. The reason for the token packs is that sometimes it can be a hassle to like constantly be going through that. So we decided to have some token packs at the bottom of the shop where you can, use that option if you want.
Yeah, I think that's great. And I know players who are optimizing for card acquisition love Token Tuesday. It sounds like some of these token packs are actually beating the current Token Tuesday rates. So I'm curious, what happens to Token Tuesday?
That's a good question. I think, snap packs will make us rethink tokens as rewards in all places in the game. I imagine people will want tokens more than they used to, right? Because now you can buy packs with them. You will be rethinking about how we can get more tokens in the hands of players, probably through events. In the past, I think because there was only a couple things you could buy in the token shop, the demand for tokens was kind of mixed. So, we'll be thinking about how to offer tokens in bundles more in events, and then it kind of goes back to Token Tuesday. I don't think we want to get rid of Token Tuesday, but you're right that we may want to adjust how Token Tuesday kind of fits in amongst these different packs.
Okay.
If they're planning to keep Token Tuesday, these rates are better than the current Token Tuesday rates, which would mean whatever they're going to do on the time limited come check in on Tuesday would have to be better than this, right? So if that rate goes up, that's another win, right? Because like there's no way they would keep those around and have them be worse than this. Like that way, it wouldn't make sense for a Token Tuesday rate to be worse than this top one here. So I would assume if you are waiting for the Tuesday tokens, your rate is going to be better than this, and this is already better than Token Tuesdays. Otherwise, it would be pointless.
There's probably a little room to make Token Tuesday more generous.
Okay, so I've got my stack of tokens. I'm going in to buy snap packs. Is there some kind of interface where I can see what cards are in the pool I'm about to pull from?
Yes, that's actually a really fun part of Snap packs. Snap has never had a place for you to easily see which cards you don't own. Now you can go and tap on any of the packs and it'll tell you.
Holy quality of life and new user interfaces in my Marvel Snap. It's more likely than you think, gamers. Oh, I'm going to move my subscription thing again here. You can see... it says here at the top how many total cards you're missing. How many total cards you're missing, too. That is lovely.
Which cards you don't own. So for the collector's packs, those are really nice. It basically tells you the whole big pool of stuff. It's sorted alphabetically. Seasonal packs actually shows the cards by season, the name of the season, and then the list of cards that are in that season and the name of the.
Oh, it shows them by season, so it's very clear to understand which ones are going away and when. So again, like when this counter ticks all the way down, these join the non-seasonal pack. This is all great. Like this is all really, really clean.
The next season that's in the pack, because there are 3 seasons worth of cards in the seasonal series 4 pack, and 2.
Oh, did you just say there's 3 seasons worth of cards? That's what he said, right? He just said there's 3 seasons worth? I thought it was 2. The current and the last two.
Name of the next season that's in the pack, because there are 3 seasons worth of cards in the series, in the seasonal series 4 pack, and 2 seasons of cards in the seasonal series 5 pack.
Okay, so then I'm looking at the...
Oh, it's different because series 4. Oh, I missed that. Okay, so this is series 5 stuff. And then this is series 4 from the event cards. And they said they're going to be releasing more cards. So in theory, there's going to be more series 4 here as well.
Cards in the season series 5 pack.
Okay, so then I'm looking at the list of cards that are available in a pack. What happens when I have every card in a pack?
When you have every card in a pack, you can't technically look at it. It'll just show up in the card shop as complete. And then if anything changes, a new card comes out, and now it's available in that pack again, it'll, revert back to the state.
The loot boxes can have more than one thing in it, chat. They just bought the card and got tokens and credits. Oh, baby. It took us 3 years, but Marvel Snap finally made it to booster packs. Oh, they always have 2 rewards. Oh, that's sweet. Okay. And what they are will vary, but you're always getting 2. Cool.
Or you can get a card from it again.
All right, that's honestly really exciting. That's really cool. It's interesting to see how the system's going to evolve also. I'm going to pass this over towards Binks, where he's going to kind of dive into some of the systems and rhythms that we've kind of been in for months, and some of them even over a year.
Yes, you can get collector's tokens refunded back in the bonus.
And now looking into the future because of what Snap Packs is now going to bring to the table, where we're headed.
Hey, Matt. So glad to finally meet you. Thank you so much for sitting here while we all grill you. What about previous season pass cards? So once they rotate out for that season's month, like where do they end up in which Snap Pack?
Yeah, this is the trickiest part of Snap Packs. So season pass cards are Series 5, and the seasonal Series 5 pack has cards from the last 2 seasons. So when a season ends, a season pass card becomes a Series 5, and that means it'll end up in the seasonal pack, but only for 1 season because it's on its 2nd season already. So then after that, it'll go to the collector's packs. So it'll kind of make this journey from season pass card to seasonal pack card to collector's pack card.
Wait, did he just say there's going to be a month where it's not available? Is that what I caught in there?
A season pass card becomes a Series 5, and that means it'll end up in the seasonal pack, but only for 1 season because it's on its 2nd season already. So then after that, it'll go to the collector's packs. So it'll kind of make this journey from season pass card to seasonal pack card to collector's pack card.
That's awesome. I feel like a lot of people sometimes, a season pass card rotates out and then they have to wait for it. So being able to like immediately the next season grab it, I think a lot of.
All right, you'll be able to. Why is it only in for 1 season? I thought the Series 5 cards are in. I thought the Series 5 cards are in for 3 months. Am I not understanding? I thought it was 2 months. It goes season pass, seasonal pack, collector's pack, but it should be in the. Oh, it's 3 for Series 4, 2 for Series 3. 5, got it. Okay, I had it switched. So Series 5 are just the last 2, and Series 4 are the last 3. Okay, understood.
People are going to really, really like that. So will the Series 5 pack always have the new weekly card in it as well? So, for example, if your collection complete, will you always pull the new card that week from the Series 5 pack, or will it be exclusive to the new Series 5 pack?
It will not be exclusive. It's something we kind of debated, but we decided in the end, folks who are on the cutting edge and our collection complete, the newest card that we've historically called the Spotlight card will also be in the seasonal Series 5 pack. So if you have a pack that only has 1 card in it, you can buy it. And
Awesome.
So technically you're getting.
Wow, chat. Okay, I have to share this. They released the announcements of the new Marvel Snap economy, and the Dow Jones rebounded. Look at that. Second dinner has saved America's economy. Let's go, Ben Brode. Whoopee! We're so back.
Getting the card a little bit cheaper It's like 5-6 of the cost, but we're fine with that. It's kind of a reward for the folks who are staying all the way or getting all the cards in the game all the time.
Sure. And, we're going to have to see how things go with like how many tokens are there and everything. Like I feel like with economies like that, there's so many moving parts. It's really going to be something that, once you see, we can really build off that. So you mentioned this before, if you have a full collection, you just can't open any of the snap packs. So they're all grayed out.
So if the card store is empty, it's empty. And hopefully you're excited to go over, to the other half of the store, which still has a lot in terms of variants and other cosmetics. And we recently released character mastery, and it's going pretty well so far, but there are things we want to do to improve character mastery. And that's a place where people who are card complete can continue to, evolve more of their cosmetic collection.
So before Spotlight and Flexible Series drops, many players like intentionally waited for cards to drop to Series 4, even 3 before acquiring them. Are you concerned that like Series 5 Snap Pack, because it's trailing 2 seasons behind, might kind of cause those same concerns where there's just like a group of players who's essentially just like waiting for things to like shift around? Or do you think that this is going to encourage more kind of like proactive choice with what you do?
The intent is definitely to encourage proactive choice, and there are some kind of fair trade-offs for people to make. So there isn't anything inherently bad with people, waiting and getting things at a different price. It just means that, you think about a Khonshu or Agamotto, like 2 cards that I think about have come out recently that are really exciting. It's like, well, you wait 2 months for that card, that's up to you. The positive aspect of it is that people who are on more of a budget or free to play can still get those cards and stay meta relevant and stay engaged in the game and not feel kind of like they're just on a treadmill and falling behind.
Definitely. Talking about falling behind, there was another announcement we haven't really like dug into, which is that you're saying there's going to be now more cards coming to Marvel Snap. I think that brings up some concerns with people of, if you're trying to have access to every card or mostly every card, this kind of like tilts the balance from having 1 card per week. Is this going to mean that there's going to be more direct to Series 4 releases? And what's just kind of your overall breakdown of how you're going to be adding more cards?
Yeah, that's the general idea. There'll be more direct to Series 4 releases. We're still planning to maintain the cadence of 1 season pass card every season plus a weekly. Most of our seasons are 4 weeks, but sometimes 5. So you either have 4 to 5 cards that are spotlight cards that come out weekly. With the seasonal Series 4 pack, that's kind of the newest sort of type of thing in the game, where we'll have more direct to Series 4 cards coming out at the beginning of the season. We've already kind of been producing more of those cards, and
So they're going to have more cards at the start of the season, they said? Like a bigger release and then on top of the weekly releases?
you've seen those show up in events like High Voltage, Sanctum Showdown. So that will continue as well. We want to make sure that there are new and exciting rewards that make it feel really worthwhile to play through the events. And then those event cards after the season in which they're released will cycle into the packs. So that's the general idea. We're not looking to dramatically increase the number of cards because we know people are used to a certain cadence, and Snap is not a game that releases 300 cards a year. And I think the other thing to think about is like the Series 5 cards tend to be the more game-changing cards, the ones that have the newest mechanics in them, that are more the anchors to build decks around. The Series 4 cards, so there'll be more of those, but those are cards that kind of have more targeted usages for different deck archetypes. So that's another way in which we're not kind of thinking the meta is going to be like spinning up and running at a much more rapid rate. It's kind of filling in a lot of the design space and the strategic space for people to build decks. The Snap Pack system and the new card shop is kind of the new base that we want to work off that's fairly flexible, and we can and want to do things like offer various different combinations of cards in custom packs at different prices. And there's a limited number of cards. That's kind of what makes our cards generally more premium, than a card game that releases a ton of cards. So it's trying to find that sweet spot there where.
Definitely. Well, I mean, I think we covered a lot of great things here. I know that you mentioned, this isn't like the final step or anything like that. This is really like the first step of a new system where hopefully, there's a lot of levers and different things like that you can control. But thank you so much again for just, giving us a laydown of these new series cards and where we can find them. I really appreciate it, Matt.
Honestly, this is all really exciting. This is an absolutely fantastic system. I'm very curious to see how the community feels about it. Let us know in the comments, and Snap Packs is going to absolutely dramatically change the Marvel Snap experience for new players as well as players that have been playing since beta. So Binks, Nina, Lauren, thank you so much for being here. And Matt, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us about Snap Packs.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Okay. I mean, I'm honestly, I have to say, I've missed this level of communication playing other games. Second Dinner is very, very good at helping us. Like, you just don't see this type of very, very cautiously optimistic. The numbers sound very reasonable. There's some question mark of exactly how many. There's some question mark of exactly how many tokens you're going to get from various sources, like what do Token Tuesday looks like, how many Series 4 cards are coming at the beginning of the month, but it seems like it's going to be a solid upgrade, and even free players are going to be able to collect Series 5 stuff at a higher rate. I think the biggest upgrade from this change is the lack of duplicates, right? Like, the fact that you are guaranteed to get a new card when you buy one of these packs is a really big deal. So, yeah. Good. And again, for those just coming in, I'll link this video in the chat. If you're watching this on my YouTube after the fact, it'll be in the video description down below. This is confirmed coming in the April 29th patch. So, by the end of the month, we're gonna have a new economy system. So those we're gonna have a new economy system for Marvel Snap, which is sweet.